Fox 7 Austin News at 5.
President Trump says he wants to end the constitutional right to citizenship for babies born in the United States to non-citizens, and possibly with an executive order. It would challenge the 14th Amendment and surely cause a major legal battle. Here to talk about this is Travis County GOP Chairman Matt Mackowiak and Tara Pohlmeyer from Progress, Texas. Thank you both for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Tara, does the president have the authority to do this, or is this just a political stunt right before midterms?
This is definitely just a political stunt. As you said, this is protected by the 14th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution, and it would be absolutely unconstitutional for the president to do something like this. So there would be a legal battle, and this is really taking away from topics that Americans and Texans truly care about, including health care reform, not taking away protections for pre-existing conditions, making sure that family separation ends. The last I read, 250 children are still separated from their parents. Things like that should be what we're discussing right before the election, and how Republicans have neglected to do anything about these issues, not going against the Constitution of the United States.
South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham says he plans to introduce legislation ending birthright citizenship. Matt, do you think legislation like that would pass?
Well, if it were in the form of an amendment to the Constitution, the threshold is really high. It's 2/3 in the House, 2/3 in the Senate, and then you have to have 3/4 of the states ratify it. So I think the odds of that ultimately succeeding are probably pretty low. I think from President Trump's standpoint, he's very frustrated as he sees this caravan of 4,000 or 5,000 migrants from Guatemala making their way north to the United States in an attempt to overwhelm our system. Our system is not prepared to handle 4,000 or 5,000 asylum requests at one port of entry. And so I think he's frustrated that he has limited tools to try to dissuade those migrants from moving north. You've seen him now, just in the last couple of days, order the military down to the southern border, 5,000 troops. It's a considerable number. And I think as it relates to birthright citizenship, yes, this probably is somewhat political given that it's 7 days before an election. But I think it's also because of this caravan. I think that's why we're talking about this. I think he's frustrated about the caravan and frustrated about the existing laws that limit his ability to, from his perspective, protect public safety and protect citizens and taxpayers.
Along with the birthright citizenship comment, as you mentioned, the president ordered again more than 4,000 troops to the Texas-Mexico border, other areas as well, because of that caravan of Central American immigrants on the way to the U.S. Tara, why do you think he's making these moves? Do you think it is because we're near the midterm, or does it have something to do with what Matt said, the caravan?
It does have something to do with the midterm. Even if his theory of border protection was absolutely true, this group of people who are in a humanitarian crisis are weeks away from actually reaching the border. So there's plenty of time for us to come up with a solution to this crisis and make sure that these people do have the opportunity to seek asylum, and make sure that we show them that we are a nation of immigrants and that we do accept people of all walks of life into our country. And instead, he's talking about this right before the election, taking away from those issues of health care, immigration, maternal mortality here in Texas, and everything else that we truly need to be talking about.
We are running out of time. Matt, your final thought.
Yeah, I think most Americans look at the caravan and they think, you know, obviously these are people we feel very sorry for. And it would be a wonderful thing if every person who wanted to come to America could come here. But obviously we have to have limitations on how many immigrants we can accept into our country. And we ought to have a system for that. And we do have a system for that. And the system was not built so that 4,000 or 5,000 people could show up at a port of entry and make an asylum claim. When they get denied, which many of them will, they're going to try to enter illegally. And I think that's what the president is responding to here.
All right. We are out of time. But Matt, Tara, thank you both for sharing your perspectives with us tonight.
Thanks.
Thank you.